The circle of fifths is a really helpful way to picture the chords in any key and any mode, but it can be a little confusing when you first look at it. How it works is that every chord in this middle ring is a major chord, and in a clockwise direction, it moves through a series of fifths. So you start at 1, then 5, then the fifth of 5 is the 2 chord, and then the fifth of that is the 6th chord, and so on. In the middle ring, all of the minor chords are arranged also in a circle of fifths sequence, and then in the outer ring, all of the diminished chords are also in a circle of fifths sequence. But with all of these Roman numeral symbols, it can look a little complicated. So to picture it a little more intuitively, we can apply the color wheel. And here you can see that all of the chords in the middle ring, all of the major chords are arranged in a circle of fifths sequence where this chord naturally leads to the next, which naturally leads to the next, and so on. In the middle ring, all of the chords are also arranged in a circle of fifths or color wheel sequence where all of the chords are next to their harmonic neighbors. And likewise, in the outer ring, you have the circle of fifths / color wheel as well, to show all of the diminished chords. But even with these colors, it can be a little overwhelming at first, so let's dissect it a little further. And what you can see, for example, is that all of the 1 chords align with the red square, which in this case is C. So C major is in the inner ring, C minor is in the middle ring, and then C diminished is in the outer ring. And together these chords form a kind of spiral from the inside out. And then looking at all the 5 chords, those are G, and they also form kind of a spiral pattern from the major chord in the inner ring to the minor chord in the middle ring to the diminished chord in the outer ring. And then D, all of the D chords, D major, D minor, and D diminished, form a spiral as well, and so on. The same pattern applies to all of the chords in the circle of fifths. So again, with only the Roman numeral symbols, it can be really hard to spot this pattern, but with the colors, it jumps out. And when you fill in all of the chords within the circle of fifths with their respective colors, this spiral pattern, this relationship between chords in this diagram is clear. Once you see it, you can't miss it. And knowing that this pattern is predictable, that it's consistent from one chord and key to the next, you can really start to navigate the circle of fifths as you play and write different chord progressions.